basically, I think I can separate the frictionless Dryad integration in for the backend part of the integration, the front end part. That's only some slides to give this schematic way for you. So, well, for the frictionless integration with other web-based systems is very straightforward, and you only have to install the frictionless Python package to start to use in a web-based system. So basically, I don't know if all here have more technical knows. So basically, frictionless framework is based on Python language, and well, when you just for install the frictionless Python package, you just have to use this command that is pip install frictionless. This is for install the frictionless package inside your system operation. So with this command and have the Python stuff in your computer, you after install the frictionless, you can start to using it. And in the Dryad system, for you to call the frictionless validation process is just to well, Dryad is making in Ruby language and a Ruby on Rails framework, and after we reshape the upload system for the Dryad app, we start to using frictionless, and it's just to call frictionless validation inside Ruby is just to call the frictionless package that you had installed before, and it's just defining a method and called frictionless, and you have the results of frictionless validation process and in a variable, and you can start to use the results to display the validation process and results in your website. So this is for the backend integration, and well, the frictionless framework is well documented in web, and it's a free software package, and this you can read about them and how to use in it. Yes, this is for the backend, and well, this is for front-end integration. We used another frictionless package that called frictionless components, and they are made in React.js but plus TypeScript. React.js is a framework for JavaScript, and TypeScript is a language, another computer language. And this is an image of the Dryad website, and this model, this screen, you can see the results of applying the frictionless package, and after the user makes the uploads, and the system automatically starts to validate the files that the user uploaded, and it's simple as display as the results. And this frictionless components has this nice feature of showing a table, a representation of the table with the part that is not valid. For example, in this image, you can see that is a left blank, a blank label, a blank cell here that is not conform of with a good CSV file. And so, in summary, we use this frictionless component to inside the Dryad app to display the issues with the CSV files. And well, it is simple to use too. It's a matter of calling the frictionless components that you installed with npm and node. So schematically, I can give you this information about the integration, and there's the documentations for the frictionless components too. And yes, this is about the frictionless. And my work in the first month was to reshape the upload system for the Dryad that was very based on JavaScript jQuery, and we started the work using React framework to give more dynamics for the upload page in Dryad. And after that, we started to make the integration. And well, this is only a schematic way of this integration to see. And maybe Daniella will talk more about the system and how the system works. So yes, that is it for my part. And you can ask me what you want to make the thing more reasonable. So I pass to you, Daniella. Thanks.
Yeah, is there any questions specific to Cassiano? Otherwise, I can kind of show it and then we can go to questions, but anything immediate? Okay. All right. So on the actual upload page, what Cassiano is referring to is we did have to do quite a bit of UX work around this to understand how researchers would be able to really understand it. But also our system is a little complex because Cassiano had actually helped us. We do have an integration with Zenodo. So when you come to our page now to upload the files, we allow for people to upload code and scripts as well as supplemental information. So we get a lot of authors who are coming to us because their journal told them to come over here. And then they start sending us, like some random PDF of information that's a supplemental file, which is not data, doesn't need to be curated. So we set up this integration, but we wanted to make sure that the data validator is just on files coming in through Dryad. And then because this is already a little complex and we don't want to confuse people, we had to think about how do we run this in a way that makes it really easy for a researcher. And what we came up with after a lot of user testing with random researchers across disciplines is they didn't want to know information about the validator. So instead, when you upload a file from Choose Data here, oh my gosh, there we go. This keeps happening on Google Slides where it totally freezes on Zoom. Okay, so you click upload, you bring in the files. So all of the files, the software could be here as well. And then we just automatically run the tabular data check on it. So when we were user testing it, we said, well, do you want to know and agree to have it happen? And people said, just do it. I'm not going to think twice. I don't need to consent to this. And so we automatically run it on files that are 25 megabytes or under for Excel, CSV, and then a little bit of JSON, but JSON's been a little tricky with it. And so when it's passed, it passes easy. If we have issues, we decided that we needed to put multiple places so that people would see it. Some could say that's overkill, but you can click on view one issue, or you can click on it up here, and then we open up that formatting report. So this is another area where we had to do a lot of accessibility design. All of our code is open source. So if you guys, if anyone wants to take what we did, it's VPAT accessibility WCAG 2.0 compliant now. So the highest accessibility for it, which was a little difficult, surprisingly, for all of these rows. Sorry, there's an emergency truck. So what happens is if we clump them, as Frictionless does, by the type of issue, and then give the information there. And then we wanted to make sure people understood how they can remove the file and start over. And so, you know, once they actually go and they click it remove, they can go re-upload it, and then there's really no problem. We are not requiring that you do this to click submit at the end of the Dryad page. We might eventually go there, but we have had, we had an example, a data librarian wrote in the other week saying that they had an author come to them saying, well, I did this formatting on purpose. This is right for my field. And it kept showing an issue. So we don't want to try and, you know, say that it works for everything, even though for the majority, we really shouldn't be having blank rows, things like that. So since we have done this, I believe we went live in June, but Lily and Cassiano, I remember, I feel like there's been so many things. Come on, slides. There we go. Okay, so since it's gone live, we've had over 11,000 files that have been validated. I thought it was interesting though, that only 942 of those had issues. I mean, it's still a lot. It's still 100% worth us doing this because those are 942 files that have now been fixed. But it's interesting what the breakdown was. We didn't have data to start on knowing, you know, how bad our files right now on these things. But interestingly, we've only had 16, so 11,000 files for over, I think, 1,000 or 2,000 data sets submissions. We've only had 16 instances of authors writing in saying this isn't working, or why is it erroring, things like that. And a lot of it was actually things we had to troubleshoot after it went live. The biggest things that we have issue with are large or complex files. We thought, based on the past, so the majority of data submitted to Dryad is tabular, but we thought that they were all pretty small files. It turns out that complex files start throwing a lot of errors for us, where it says that it's still validating and it won't stop. And so the user can't actually keep moving. And so these are things that we're still trying to work through and understand. And we don't know yet if this is things that maybe Frictionless can work on, or we should, but we'll keep people posted. And again, all of the code is live. So if anyone wants to take all the things that we've been tinkering with, go for it. But otherwise it's been pretty seamless and pretty easy. And it can be a finicky community when we have that many people coming in, and kind of no one noticed it, which is exactly what we wanted. We didn't want anyone to really know that it was a change. It's just something that happens, and it's been accepted like that. So we're really happy with it.